Hey guys, Stitching May here to do an update video. It has been 3 weeks since my last update video. And I know I say this often in my video, but as soon as I don't, somebody's going to be trying to figure out what's going on with this video. So if you're new to my channel is about cross stitch with a little bit of my life sprinkled in. And if you enjoyed that kind of thing, please subscribe and come back for my next video. I try to make them every 2 weeks. Realistically, it's usually about every 3. And if you are back again for a video, thank you for coming back and thank you for watching. Guys, your feedback is what makes this fun, and like, it's why I do it. It's enjoyable to interact with you guys. So, like I said, 3 weeks. I have no excuse again. I know I said in my last video that my stomach was kind of weird. It does that sometimes. It's nothing big. However, I did get my second COVID shot on that following Friday, which was, I think it was the 11th, the 12th. I was close. And I ended up with a fever. I was fine, just a low grade fever, just like, I think it was like 101.8 or maybe 102 the highest. Just enough that work wouldn't let me work, but I got the weekend off. But because I was kind of fevery, I didn't feel like stitching. I think I put a whole 24 stitches in that night. And then I had already planned to be off on Valentine's Day, just spend time with my guys, and I got like a whole 46 stitches in that night. So it wasn't a very productive weekend, but I was fine. I've now had both shots, ready to go. And then that's it. The following Friday, when I would have normally done my video, my son got into Pokemon cards. And my sister and I were helping him organize them and just having fun, spending time with him. Something that I can kind of relate a little bit to. And so I didn't do any stitching or any videos that night. So I'm here now though. And I have numbers. I've already added up my numbers. I'm trying to be good and keep numbers posted for you guys. So that's it on the life front. Something cool I found out through another Flosstuber, Kim J Inspired. I want to say Kim J Inspired is her channel name. I'll insert it here and I'll link to the channel below. So she lives in the Northwest Georgia area as well. And she had mentioned that she had found a small little shop that had cross stitch in it. It's about 3 or 4 towns away from me. So I made a day trip to the shop. It was really stinky because we did have a COVID quarantine. My son apparently was exposed to somebody at his school. He never showed any symptoms. We had plans with Emily to go. I had plans with Emily to go to the shop, to have lunch and go to the shop. We were going to kind of meet in the middle because it's 3 or 4 towns away from her as well. And visit the shop, and then we get the call that my son's on quarantine, so therefore we could not go anywhere. So I ended up going later without Emily, and it was a really cool shop, so I have some haul to show you. But I thought it was neat that Flosstube helped me find a small, very small store. It wants to be bigger. I think it will be bigger as more people show interest, so we're trying to throw some interest at it. Anyway, so in order of my projects, I think last time I left you, I was working on my Yellow Submarine by Blackbird Designs. This is what it will look like when it's finished. This is where I was in my last video. I'm trying to see if I actually, yes, I worked on it after the video. I did the video and then I worked on it. So this is what it looked like before I worked on it. So this is in my Beatles bag, Hey Jude, from Stitchnbutton. And this is kitted up in my color and cotton. Emily and I did a color conversion. I picked colors and Emily confirmed them and helped me choose a color, like decide between a few. And this is on Hand Dyed by Stephanie's. Is it Hand Dyed by Stephanie? Or is this an Under the Sea? This is an Under the Sea fabric. Called NYX's NYX. NYX. This is where I currently am. So I finally finished out this top border. Guys, I got to here and had to frog back to here and then re-stitch a lot of this. I was so frustrated. And actually started on one of the little Quakery flowers. So this is as wide as the project will be. So I'll have this entire other side to do something else on. I realized that so I was stitching, I was like, oh, this dark fabric's not affecting me at all. I'm doing great. And then I switched to Vintage Birds, which is the same count, and was stitching so much faster on it. I was like, okay, maybe the dark fabric is affecting me more than I thought it was. But not enough to make me hate the project by any means. But there that is. And this is, I do plan to do all of the Beetle series, or the, what do they call it? Magical Mystery Tour series. I've already done Eleanor Rigby and the Blackbird. Now I'm doing Yellow Submarine, and I have in my stash Strawberry Fields Forever, tongue-tied, The Long and Winding Road, and Octopus Garden. Octopus Garden. So that is where I currently am with that project. Not a lot of progress, but enough. I did a total of 104 stitches on Yellow Submarine, and that doesn't count. I don't count when I frog and have to restitch. So truthfully, I got more in, but I didn't count it because I stitched part of it twice. So next, I pulled out Vintage Bird Sampler. It is one that I use for the prompt in Magical Stitches, something that you're stuck on. So I pulled this one out because Ellen has laid down the gauntlet, or as Brenda and the Serial Starter say, given me marching orders that she won't start the pandemic long dog samplers I don't know how I said that, until I finish Vintage Birds, and I hadn't touched it since my birthday. So I have been stuck on this project. So this is what it will look like when it's finished. Again, I am doing my own color and cotton conversion. And this one I think I did on my own. Most of it's color and cotton. I think a couple are Carrie's Creations, and I think there may be a Week Style Works in here. This is stitched on the Legacy Linen, I think it's 36 count Legacy Linen. So actually this is smaller count than the Yellow Submarine, and I was able to stitch faster on it. So it was definitely affecting my stitching the dark fabric. So here I was before. I had the one lonely bird and then part of the peacock. I think just the legs and part of the body. You can see it. And this is where I currently am. So I finished out, I think I'm going to name him Herbert. I don't know why. That's the name that just popped out. Finished him out, finished out his plume and his feathers, and now I'm working on these Algerian eyelets in the middle of them. How tiny. They're fun though. They're not nearly as bad. The cool thing is that the way I count my stitches is, of course, every stitch is one stitch, and every 2 back stitches is 1 stitch. And if I have a specialty stitch, 2 legs of the specialty stitch count as 1 stitch. So these are 24 stitch Algerian eyelets. So each one counts as 12 stitches. So, once I got the hang of it, it was easy. I am doing the Algerian eyelets with 1 strand, whereas everything else is 2 strands, and it is over the 36 count. I want to say it's 36 count. Yeah, it's 36 count. It seems so much easier to see. And then I think I already had that little random flower in. This guy is most of the pattern. So once I get him done, it'll be a little quicker to finish everything up. There'll be 2 little vases beside it, and they both have satin stitch and long arm cross stitch, which is just, instead of 2 over 2, it's 2 wide by 3 tall, I think. And that is just in a Amazon bag. It's not made by Amazon. That's where I got it though. And I did a total of 934 stitches on Vintage Birds. And then the next thing I started is the Pandemic Sampler by Sarcy Girl on Instagram. I'll link to her Instagram below. And it is a, she's given the free pattern if you make a donation to a charity of your choice. I want to say she wants it to be an animal charity. So this was a SAL that I started with Emily. And it's part of her March Mayhem, and I'm calling it my March Mayhem because it's my first start of the new year, of this year, and then I don't plan to have any new starts again until May, towards the end of May probably as well. So if I haven't showed you yet, this is what it will look like when it's finished. Of course, there was no progress. This is stitched on 36 count Lakeside linens. I know. Tarnished silver. I had purchased a fat half of this on an auction on eBay. So it was I only needed a fat quarter, and it was so hard for me to cut the fabric. Poor Emily had to deal with me messaging her going, I don't want to cut it, but I have to cut it because it was going to be twice as much fabric as I needed. I finally cut it. My husband was laughing at me, and this is where I currently am. I am stitching this in the called for DMC. This is the first page of this side of the border. Like the bottom of the first page is here. And then I will continue on, finish this page, and then probably go, I don't know if I'll go across or if I'll go down yet. I haven't decided. But look at that pop of bright orange right there. Like, these colors, guys, are just amazing. I'm so excited to see more patterns from her. I love her color sense. I just love this piece. I can't put it down. So far, I only started this on Monday, and I've already done 322 stitches. I'm using this for both of the Magical Stitches prompts. We had 2 different prompts. Each one of them were 500 stitches. One was something that you could be disguised as, and they're animals in this one. So you can dress up as an animal. And won't get into all that. And then there is also one that is for a friend or remind you of a friend. And of course, I'm stitching this as a SAL with Emily. So that reminds me of a friend. And also, it's got flowers that look like daisies. So that would be my mom. And I have this in this beautiful, oh my gosh, beautiful bag from Stitchnbutton. Oh my gosh, guys, look at these dragonflies. Look at these colors. So, here is the fun. My nails kind of match. This is Color Street, and it's called, what is it called? Dark Matter. Do y'all remember that weird paint in the 90s that, like, you look at it one way and it looks really green, and you look at it another way and it looks purple? That's what this is. But anyway, I don't know why I started talking about my nail polish. So the funny story about this bag is that I had originally seen the fabric before it was posted in the group. And I told Vic, I was like, I have to have that bag. I love dragonflies. That's my bag. I have to have it. And she said, okay, you know, I'll make sure you get one. Well, then she posted them when I was at work, and they were all claimed. And I messaged her. I'm like, I didn't get a claim bag. What am I going to do? Are you going to get more fabric? She's like, I've got your bag. You're fine. I was like, okay. So then I was waiting for the invoice. Never got the invoice, but I knew she'd had the big sale and was like, she'll get me my invoice. No big deal. I came home from work one morning, opened up the mailbox because my husband won't check the mail on the weekends anyway. Open up the mailbox, and I'm like, why do I have a package from Vic? And then I flipped over my phone. I'm like, I know I didn't pay the invoice. Did you send me the invoice? Am I missing the invoice? Then I opened up the bag and looked. Happy early birthday from Belinda. Belinda purchased the bag for me as my early birthday present. So it was a very big surprise and one that I love. I cannot look at the colors. Like, As this is cotton, and it's like it just pops off of there. It's a beautiful fabric. Beautiful fabric. So, like I said, I have done 322 stitches on the pandemic sampler. So since my last video, I have done a total of 1,360 stitches in 3 weeks. That's not too shabby for me. Some of my February totals, because I am keeping up with that. So I told you in January my total was 2,097 stitches. My February total was 2,583 stitches, which put me at a 4,680 yearly stitches. If I count these stitches, it puts me at 6,040 stitches. That math doesn't seem right. 4680 plus 1360. Yep, that's it. That seems like a big jump. Anyway, I have had to the end of February. I had 10 0 stitch days in February, which would be a total of 15 for the year. And I had a total of 18 stitch days in February, which is a total of 44 for the year. I worked on 5 projects, which is a total of 10 for the year. So 10 of my 60 whips I've worked on. And I am keeping up also. Guys, I don't know why numbers are being so fun for me this time. But like I keep up with how many stitches I've stitched on each one. That way I'll know by the end of the year how many stitches I stitched on each project. My husband was laughing at me the other night when I told him I was balancing my books. So, that is that for there. That makes sense, right? So, for a haul, at the little store that I went to, so it's a booth within an antique mall. And the antique mall is called Peacock Junction. It's close to 75. Or Highway 75. It's, like I said, it's a good 45 minutes, almost an hour for me. But it's worth the drive. I'm telling what highway it is on for our Georgia Stitchers, just in case they want to visit. If you're a Georgia Stitcher and you want more information, message me. I'll give you more information about the store. How about that? So I purchased this Fracture Flowers. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. By Lottie Da. Guys, look. It's so pretty. Can you hear my dog snoring? He's gotten up in my chair and he's snoring. And then I got, also from Lottie Da, B is for Bunny. Guys, I was stuck between this one and Brer Rabbit. I decided on this one because, look, he's carrying come on, focus camera. He's carrying Easter eggs in his basket on his belly. That was just too perfect. And plus this turquoise and this, oh gosh. And then I purchased this Piecework magazine. I got it for one specific pattern. And then I found out that I have this already, so I bought this twice. Right here, this Quaker. I'm dropping pieces of the magazine. Come on, go away, glare. It's this beautiful Quaker design. It is called a Quaker Sampler to Cross Stitch, designed by Candace Thomas and stitched by Deanna Hall West. They stitched on 36 count linen. I'm trying to see if they've got a business name for, which they don't. And then, by all the Blackbirds, I found Vintage Inspiration by Blackbird Designs. Guys, I could not beat her Blackbird's Designs prices. It's got, this is the main sampler in it. Make sure I get this without showing you anything. This little bottle. This was the original, I think, is my understanding. I think that's how they do their books. And then they did the Scarlet Letters. And alphabets. And they also have just the little birds. So here is this. Maybe the front is their version. That is their version, I think. And you can do just the alphabet, or you can do these little birds, or just a small bird. I love the way they break it all up for you. And then, merrily, merrily, we welcome spring. Guys, this one is beautiful. I may work on some of the pinks. I'll look and see how pink the pinks are. I'm not a big pink person, as I wear a light peach, which I'm not supposed to wear because I'm a redhead, but I'm at home and I'm comfortable, and here I am. And then I purchased this Celebrate. It is 15 years of Teresa Kogert designs, 15 years of needlework. It was at market, I think, in 2020. It's got, I can't show you, it's got this house and these trees, and then I can't show you because I don't have finished designs. It's just the pattern. There is a bunny bouquet. Long winters make a welcome spring. And then it's got blue ribbon. It's got a sheep, a pig, or hog, I don't know which one, and then a chicken or a rooster, and then fresh farm eggs, and it's got the word eggs with chickens or roosters, I assume chickens, on there. Giving, no one ever became poor by giving. Not a tree. If you don't like where you are, change it. You're not a tree. Hello, which is a bunny looking at a baby chick saying hello. And then Bad Kitty, it's a witch with her black cat going up a pathway to a house. A harvest scarecrow. And then Merry Christmas, the word Merry Christmas. There's a jolly, jolly Santa holding a snowman. And then 'Tis the Season that has, it looks like poinsettia all around it. And then a snowman with a bird, I believe it's a cardinal. Copper, it's kind of a reddish bird. You can Google and find the pictures of these completed on Google if you look up Celebrate 15 Years of Teresa Kogert. These are the only model stitches that are in the book, and I don't want to show patterns. But it's super cute. If you can find it, it's great. I think 123 Stitch has this still. And then I purchased some random 25 count summer khaki, new khaki linen. So I have some Prairie Schoolers. I have some Santas and some different Prairie Schoolers. I'm in love with the fairy ones now. I'm trying to find those on eBay. I can't find the Prairie Schooler fairies anywhere. I didn't know they existed, and then I saw one, and then I found out there were 4. I've had a hard time getting them. But anyway, I've got all kind of Prairie Schoolers, and I want to stitch them over one on 25 count. So I've been buying a whole bunch of this new khaki 25 count whenever I see it. I also found a random 36 count 27 by 36 piece, so a fat half of just flax linen. Wrong way. And that is either I'll use it as a grade neutral, or either I can dye it myself if I want to. We'll see. And that is it for my haul. I did get my notification today that my first installment of my Fabric of the Month from Color and Cotton has shipped. So I should have that for my next video. But as you know, it won't be 2 weeks. It'll be 3 before my next video. And I'm really, really excited about that. I'm going to work some more on my pandemic sampler because I just can't put that one down. And then I have no clue what my plans are for next week. Lately, I've been doing the prompts, but I have been planning, like I stitch what I want and then make the prompts work for me. Because I've just kind of been stitching whatever calls to me. If nothing calls to me, then I'll use the prompt to pick something out. But like the last week, and that's another reason why I didn't have a lot of a video, because literally up until Monday, I had only stitched on Vintage Birds and like 100 stitches on Yellow Sub. I'm like, that's not worth making a video with. And I hadn't had the haul and stuff yet. So, and that all came this week. But then when I started the Pandemic Sampler, I could, like, both Vintage Birds, and even when I started Pandemic Sampler, I kind of didn't want to put down Vintage Birds. So for my birthday month, I think I'm going to focus again on Vintage Birds. Hopefully that will be my, hopefully Whip Go will pull that, because I have not finished any of my Whip Go. I'm keeping up with what's been called. Obviously they're all going to be called. So I just need to stitch 200 stitches on them all. But, you know, it is what it is. My son and I are reading the Percy Jackson with the Magical Stitchers. We're a little behind. We haven't quite finished the first book yet, but we'll get it finished. I did finish up that book for my Amanda Lee book. I think it was The Quick and the Thread. Was that one? And I moved on to the next one. I've just been kind of relaxing and not doing a whole bunch when I'm off work, but stitching and enjoying time with my family. But guys, that's it. I don't have any solid plans, so nothing interesting there other than to just stitch on whatever calls to me and have fun. And that's it. So as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. Take care and happy stitching. That dog is snoring so loud.